Have you ever opened your email inbox and you felt complete dread? Because what you're finding inside is not the thing that you want to show up for in the world. It's not the thing that makes you creative and that makes you build and makes you light up, but actually you find all the things that you wish wouldn't exist. Admin requests, emails from people who you promised something, someone who wants something from you, someone who suggests things to you that you don't actually need. So it's almost like in your head, you have this imaginary, wonderful career or business or a creative project, but your email inbox shows you a completely different picture. And the two are completely out of sync. And this is how I've been feeling every single time I opened my email inbox when I was an academic. At that time, I loved my research. It was about human rights. And all that I saw in my emails was another committee. Students needed something. Collaborators needed something for papers that I signed up for, but I didn't really want to write them. Conference invitations. I had submitted an abstract. I forgot about it. And suddenly I felt like, now I need to go to this conference. I don't actually want to go to this conference. I want to write this other thing. So it was a really hard time for me because opening my emails became almost like a mirror, but it didn't show me who I wanted to be and the life that I wanted, but it showed me some life that I was sort of hanging in like in a spider web. And I didn't know how to get out, and I didn't know what to do to come back to myself, to come back to what do I want? How do I want to start my day? What do I want to focus on? How do I want to spend all these hours and this creativity that I have inside of me? I was just functioning because as an academic, there are certain things you're supposed to do. There's a career. I had made it to a tenured lectureship, but actually felt disconnected. So if you are someone like this who opens their emails and this is a sign that you are out of sync with yourself, then you are in the right place. I will tell you a few things that helped me and a pivotal moment that helped me change everything around. And so interesting, this moment didn't come from my very intellectual thinking brain. It came from deep inside, from the part of me that wasn't actually thinking. And that's where it gets interesting. When I was in academia, the emails are just one story, but I was essentially living a life that I didn't want, and I couldn't find my way out. I asked all the other people around me, my mentors, colleagues, should I leave academia? Should I leave that university that I was at? Maybe I should find a different career, start my own business. I tried to find coaches to go through the strategy with me. I did a lot of things to figure out what I was doing wrong. I was trying to figure out why I was people-pleasing, why I was constantly overthinking, why I couldn't make this decision. And I also wondered, why am I asking everybody around me? And everyone gives me a different answer. In trying to solve this, I think I got even deeper into that hole, into that hole of not knowing who I am and what I want. Luckily, I met this coach, Danielle Delamar, by the way, the self-compassionate professor, and she has a different approach. This was the first time someone didn't talk me through solutions. This was the first time someone took me into my subconscious. And so I met with her and I told her, this is all, all my problems, and I'm feeling so disconnected. I'm feeling really burnt out. Everything is awful. I don't know what to do. And I was sort of thinking, probably she's going to tell me what to do now. And there might be another person on the list. But she didn't. She said, let's meditate. And I was sitting there ready with pen and paper and to figure this out. I was like, okay, well, if she said I should meditate, maybe I should meditate. And so I was on my office couch and she just led me into a guided meditation through my breath, into my body. And she led me into a place where I felt, even for a moment, that none of this stuff matters. It really only matters where I am right now and how I'm feeling right now. And while she did that, I started calming down. This overthinking, these thoughts in my head that were swirling round and round, they started calming down and everything was sort of empty. It was actually quite delicious. And so I thought, okay, maybe I'll just fall asleep here. But she asked me a question. Do you want to stay in academia? And my answer came immediately without thinking. It just came out. I said no. And so I heard myself say that, and I started crying because I knew that was the answer all along. No matter the strategy, the tips from other people, the pro and con list, the whole, giving up my identity as a professor, none of that mattered. I didn't want to stay in academia. And this coach led me back to my inner authority. She led me back to what I actually want. And she gave me that reset of, okay, now that I know this, I've made my decision. I can trust myself. I feel good in my body. I feel relieved. Now I can take action. And I will say it was actually really hard to quit academia. Because there's a stable salary if you have a tenured position. It was my whole identity. I loved a lot of things about it, but also I was burned out and I knew it wasn't the right place anymore. So it took me a few more days or weeks maybe to write my resignation letter. And writing it was really, really hard. I typed it with shaking fingers and I was crying. But crying in a good way so the thing is, I was afraid, but I knew it was the right thing because I had made the decision from deep within, from my inner authority. So I wouldn't say that quitting was easy, but it was possible because it came from deep, 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 deep inside. And that is what I do with women now. So my program that I'm offering now, Authority Reset, is all built on going into the subconscious, making decisions from within, embodied with guidance, with support, but really going deep, 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 deep to the core. And that has been born through my own path of leaving academia, but not the way I thought it would leave, but the way from inner wisdom and inner authority. And so when you come into my program, Authority Reset, you will learn how to give yourself permission to make the decision that has been lingering under the surface. It might be about your career. It might be about a relationship. It might be about your next creative project. It can be big and small decisions, but often there is an identity shift behind it. There's a returning to who you are and a returning to your inner authority. And so the beauty of when you work from there is, and I've seen that in a few programs that I've run already with authors, but I'm widening now to anyone can join. You start listening to yourself first and you find a way of how can you access that inner authority? How can you, based on what you know that you really want, set your boundaries, stop people pleasing, stop overthinking, deciding from deep within, trusting yourself that your decision, even though the execution is going to be tricky and hard and maybe piss a few people off, trusting yourself the decision was the right one for you. Remembering that you are free to make your decision, your inherent freedom that you always have, that's always there for you. All of that is a completely different way of being, and that's a way that I had lost due to overfunctioning and people pleasing and overthinking and all of that. If you feel somewhere in your life, career, relationships, business, creations that you are playing small, you're going in a direction that's not truly what you want, and you feel that itch, maybe you even already know what the changes that you want, but you don't dare to take the step. So if you feel that, like you feel there's something there, come into Authority Reset. The methods that we are using are wonderful. They are gentle, but they also will wake you up. You will go to the place where it was born. There was something born in you. There was a core moment in your life where you started people pleasing, you started overthinking, and you lost the trust with yourself. So in the first session, we will find that moment very gently with a lot of imagery. We're going deep into your subconscious with a very gentle but effective method. We find that moment and we release that. So that is the first step. The second step is that we will find out what it is that you actually want. So we will go into a subconscious visioning experience where you realize, oh, yes, this is it. I can feel it in my body. This is the decision. This is what I want. And you come out of this being full body yes on that. Making the decision from your deepest inner authority that you have just woken up, that you have found again. The third session will be about what about the execution? What about the implementation? Because making the decision feels amazing, just like I did with my own coach. But implementing it is going to be hard because when you make a decision like that from deep inside, there's always an identity shift involved because you stop being the people pleaser, you become more assertive, you become more you. And when you shift your identities, you want to snap back into the old thing. And suddenly the rational mind is going to come and say, oh, no, it doesn't make sense to make this decision like that. Are you sure you want to do it? So you might very easily slip back into the old ways and forgetting that you ever found your inner authority. So the third session will make sure that this doesn't happen, and how to hold yourself when you are in between the old way of operating and the new one that you really want. What do you do when you're still in between? Because obviously this is not like a one moment switch. This is a process that also took me some time. So these are the 3 sessions in Authority Reset. We start April 27th and each session is 90 minutes long. It is deep, it is impactful, and it's probably unlike anything you've ever seen before. If you join at pre-sale, you will also get a hot seat call. Hot seat call means it's a group coaching call where I will answer any questions, but you can also get specific guidance and deep coaching, probably also going into your subconscious on something that is still remaining. Something where you feel, yes, the 3 sessions were fantastic, but there's this one thing I'm not sure about. And here in the hot seat call, I can give you individual support. That hot seat call is only for 15 people, the first 15 people who book during pre-sale, simply because if there are 50 people in it, I can't really help everybody. It wouldn't be a hot seat call anymore where people actually get seen and supported. So if this is calling to you, if you feel like, yes, I feel it bubbling up, I want this, come inside during the pre-sale. All the information is on this page, and I'd love to see you soon.